Can adults really become fluent? The truth about learning English later in life. Welcome to English Together, where confidence grows one conversation at a time. I'm Melissa. If you've ever said, I wish I had started learning English when I was a child, you are not alone. I hear that all the time. Many adults believe they missed their chance, their opportunity to become fluent because they didn't start young enough. They look at children learning languages and think, it's too late for me. Today, I want to share something encouraging. Research shows that the answer is much more helpful than many people believe. Adults absolutely can become excellent English speakers. In fact, adults have several advantages that children don't have. So let's talk about what really happens when adults learn a new language. First, let's understand why so many people believe children are better at language learners. Okay, think about a 5-year-old child. They don't worry about mistakes. They don't care if their grammar is perfect. They simply try. They're only worried about communicating. That's it. They want their ideas to be heard. They listen. They imitate. They make hundreds of mistakes every day, and nobody expects them to be perfect. And it doesn't bother them when they make the mistakes. They just figure out a better way to say it. Now think about an adult learning English. Adults often hesitate before speaking because they're worried about saying something incorrectly. And you know what? They're going to say it incorrectly because you have to say it incorrectly before you can say it correctly. It's part of it. They replay conversations in their minds. They apologize for their English before they even begin speaking. And I have done that in Spanish so many times it's not even funny. I start out with, you know what, I'm sorry, I have bad Spanish. They want every sentence to be perfect before they say it. Ironically, that desire to be perfect often slows down their learning. Children aren't better because their brains are magical. They're better because they're willing to practice without worrying about perfection. But adults have strengths that children don't have. Adults already understand how learning works. They know how to study. They can recognize patterns. They understand explanations about grammar and can turn that into something they can use. They can compare English to their own language and notice similarities and differences. They also have life experience. When you learn a new English word like mortgage, by the way, you don't pronounce the T, promotion, or retirement, you already understand those ideas in your own language. You're simply connecting a new English word to the knowledge you already have. Children don't have that advantage because they're learning the idea and the word at the same time. Adults can often build vocabulary much faster because they already understand the world around them. So why do many adults still struggle? One reason is that adults don't usually receive enough meaningful practice. Think about how children learn their first language. They're surrounded by it all day, every day. They hear thousands of conversations. They ask questions. I mean, no one will understand them if they don't speak the language that they're around, right? So they have to figure it out. They ask questions, like I said. They play. They listen. they speak. They receive constant feedback. Most adults learning English don't have that kind of environment. They might study for 30 minutes each day, then spend the rest of the day speaking another language. That doesn't mean adults can't become fluent. It means they have to create opportunities to use English consistently. Another difference is pronunciation. Children who begin in very young are more likely to develop a pronunciation that sounds like a native speaker. Adults may always have a slight accent, and that's perfectly okay. Having an accent does not mean you're a poor English speaker. Every person has an accent. The goal isn't to sound like someone else. The goal is to communicate clearly and confidently. And if you want to work on your accent, obviously we can do that as well. It's not something that you can't improve on. In fact, as far as having an accent, many highly successful professionals speak English with noticeable accents. Their accents don't prevent them from teaching, leading businesses, giving presentations, or building friendships. Communication is far more important than perfection. So, if adults have advantages and children have advantages, who learns better? The truth is that it's not a competition. They learn differently. Children often learn naturally through enormous amounts of exposure over many years. Adults often learn more quickly at the beginning because they can understand explanations and study efficiently. Later, adults sometimes slow down because they become afraid of making mistakes. Like, that's the biggest thing. Or because they don't practice enough speaking. And a lot of times that's because they're afraid of making mistakes. The good news is that both of those problems can be solved. Every conversation you have strengthens your English. Every mistake teaches your brain something new. Every time you choose to speak instead of staying silent, you're making progress, and you should feel good about yourself. Think about it. Every single time that you say anything in English to anyone, you should feel good about yourself. If you've ever thought, I'm too old to learn English, I hope you'll replace that thought with a better one. I'm still learning. It's a work in progress. Your age isn't what determines your success. Your consistency does. Keep showing up. Keep listening. Keep speaking. Keep making mistakes. Fluency isn't reserved for people who started young. It's earned by people who refuse to quit. Before we finish today, I want you to think about something. What's one advantage you have as an adult learner? Maybe you're disciplined. Maybe you're curious. Maybe you're motivated by your family or your friends or your career. Share your answer in the comments, because your reason might encourage someone else who is just beginning or at least at a point where they feel hopeless. Thank you for spending part of your day with me. Until next time, keep practicing, keep speaking, and keep growing your confidence, one conversation at a time. And if you'd like some practice with me, by all means, visit my website. It's www.englishtogetherhub.com. You can make an appointment with me. We can meet on Zoom, and I'll be happy to practice with you. Thank you so much, and you have a wonderful day.